For 3 years, I've been walking down these steps, and today I'm doing it for the last time.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Life Redesigned. In 2022, Carrie and I sold everything that we owned and we hit the road full time in that 2023 22 MLE from Grand Design. And along the way, we made a lot of changes. And then we parked it for a year, and that's what this series of videos are about, is the resurrection of our favorite RV, Humphrey. And today we're going to talk about something that, well, we've gone back and forth on, and that's the stairs going in and out of Humphrey. Okay, the stairs that we currently have on is something we replaced within the first few months of owning this rig. And these stairs are the Glow Light or Glow Step Revolutions from Torque Lift International. Great steps. The whole theory on this is that they're aluminum and they're on an accordion thing so that you can always have ground contact. And as you can see, I'm struggling here a little bit with this. But you always have full ground contact, and the stairs are, yeah, adjustable to a degree on uneven surfaces. And they perform fairly well. The only thing that we're starting to notice is that it takes a little more effort to pull them out. It's a little more effort to put them back. What we really liked about a new rig is it had these from MORryde. These are the StepAbove stairs. And no, we are not sponsored by MORryde, but somebody from MORryde's watching will love to take a sponsorship. But for real sponsorships, we're sponsored by Connectin. That's right. If you need truly mobile, unlimited, high-speed internet for van life, RV life, or just hanging out by the water here, replacing your steps, Connectin has you covered. But let's talk about these steps here. This is really what we're doing today. This is the exact same steps that we have on our 2970, the bigger version here of Humphrey. And we've really liked the simplicity of these steps. They lift right up, they fold up, and they're done. They're adjustable as well, but there's none of that fighting with the accordion. So today we're going to install these, and then I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do with that big open cavity that those steps right there currently occupy.
So to recap real quick as to what we did so far, we measured center to make sure the steps were, one, going to fit, and then two, we had to adjust these two sides out so they're touching each corner of the door here, and adjust this so these turn very easily. So now the next step, what we need to do is put two screws here on the end, bring the steps back down, make sure the screen door and the other door closes, put them back up, add some more screws, and call it a day.
So as Carrie had said, just the outside screws are going to go into place for now. It does help to have an impact gun. It just makes it going into the flooring a lot faster. And I also recommend a square tip bit. Thank you, eTrailer, as I was watching one of their videos, just to make sure I had everything going on. This is why we don't do tutorials. We let the pros do it. But once we have these in place, we can drop the stairs, which will be as simple as this. Okay, so something to point out here. One, we actually did this a little bit out of order. So these here, these two screws should have been put in with this down, but that's okay, because it did make us realize that this here, adjusted all the way out, was hitting this screw on the hinge, which is no big deal. You just undo these two bolts, move that within the area that you need to be to clear that, and then from here you can see simple, easy, clear. Trying to do this one-handed, but as you can see, pretty simple. So now we checked everything else here. We have all our clearances are right. Everything looks good. We'll go back in. We're going to put 3 more screws on either side. Now, Carrie and I did cheat. We already checked the door, but we're going to show you that, yes, the door closes. And boom, we are good. All right, we're going to button this up. And I bet you a couple of you are wondering, what the hell am I going to do with those stairs? I got you covered.
Now this is the stuff. Look, so easy. They're just there. Now to put them away, you just lift, and I love the little handle here in the middle because that helps a lot. they lock, and you're good to go.
All right, now the big question is going to be, let's talk costs, because everybody wants to know how much this costs. Well, we got these off of Amazon, $349 shipped. A definite improvement for comparison. Back when we received these torque lift stairs, they were roughly about $700. So I think all in all, a definite upgrade in our situation is something that works for us. And will it work for you? You have to decide on your own, but there are a couple of caveats to this. One, you do lose the threshold piece that originally goes with the RV. And while that's not a huge deal, it can be if you use it to hide wires and stuff of that nature. So something to keep in mind. Other than that, very easy install. I do love the fact that, Carrie, if you can jump in here, it has these little pins that you can pull these stairs out. You take these pins out, it moves the hinge out of the way. So if you need to get bigger items through the door or stuff like that, or you just need the steps out of the way for maintenance or anything, or maybe even to clean, it's all simple, easy, and very well thought out. So definitely MORryde killed it on this one. I did look at the Lippert ones for comparison, and a couple of things I noticed there was, one, the Lippert weight rating was a lot lower than the MORryde's by about 100 pounds. And as everybody knows, I can go up and down in weight, so I want to make sure these stairs are going to hold me for years to come. And just overall quality of build, I've seen some of the Lipperts in action and wasn't too impressed. MORryde really nailed it with these, so very happy. Now, let's get on to the next project. Okay, now that we've gotten these steps off of this rig, you can see we're left with a pretty big cavity. And I have just a solution, as I mentioned earlier. Wait till you see this. I know what you're thinking. I'm starting to sound like a commercial for MORryde, but I swear to you, we're not sponsored. But this is the storage box from MORryde that's going to go right underneath where those old steps mounted to. This is part of their Step Above series. Now, this is kind of an interesting thing. So when we started doing research about these stairs, not only did we notice that the Lippert stuff just wasn't as the same heft as the MORryde, but the prices swung quite substantially in MORryde's favor. And this is a perfect example. Now, I don't remember exactly what I paid for this, but I'll put it on screen. But I can tell you that it was substantially less than the Lippert alternative. So this is going to be a nice little box to have, so I can throw wheel chocks in there, stuff of that nature. Things that we just don't need tying up the precious space that's in the cargo bay. So we'll flash back in as we get this installed. I know there's a couple of things we need to prep, and we'll walk you through the rest of it. Okay, so now we have this brackets in place, and we have these just kind of set in there. We haven't bolted them down tight yet. Just want to make sure that the clearance is going to be perfect. So now how this is supposed to sit is pretty much just like this. It's going to go on those brackets once you have those dialed in. And then what you're looking for is even spacing around the top and on the sides. And it should look fairly like this one done. And the best part about this is if I try not to do anything, it opens down from here. And you see you have plenty of room for everything you need. And how that secures is you get a couple of bolts on the bottom, and there's a couple of bolts up here that will actually go through and tighten through that bracket on the other side. So we should be able to pop back in with the completed project right now.
So once Bob got it all centered and all nice and where we wanted it, we have 4 bolts inside here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, just to make sure it's secure and flush with the brackets.
And way up here, you'll see the top of your screen, there's a couple of bolts that go through with a couple of jam nuts, and that just keeps it all centered in between. And the final product here.
When you're all done, you lock it up. There you go.
Okay, so we're going to sort of walk you through again what we did here today. We put in these MORryde StepAbove steps. Very simple, easy to do. All set, and then we also took advantage of that open space below by installing the MORryde StepAbove storage box. Now, I do want to point out that the storage box itself is not weather tight, so you want to make sure that you're not putting anything in there that, well, could be a problem should it come in contact with water. So I highly advise using this for wheel chocks, things of that nature. You know, it doesn't matter if they get wet. But for us, on such a small rig, it is a step above, no pun intended, the stock units here. Well, originally, when this RV was delivered to us, it came with those spring-loaded stairs so that every time we stepped down, we felt like we were having a diving board effect. This really should be standard in pretty much every RV in the industry because it's such a better way of being able to get in and out. So as we wrap up another project here, it does point out a couple other things. We need to talk about security. Now, security with these, I always recommend changing out the stock lock and putting in your own. It's a very simple fix. That way there you don't have to worry about somebody being keyed alike. But in the next video, we're going to talk about this and what we have found to be the best in the market. Until next time, I am Bob. Carrie's behind the camera and she's waving frantically, saying, pick up your mess so we can hit the road.
Hello,
Until
goodbye.
next time,